Story worlds are as they sound, the world in which your story, characters, setting, etc. exist. These can pertain to fictional stories, non-fictional stories, and stories that blur the lines between reality and fiction. With transmedia, cross-platform, and digital storytelling, these story worlds can exist in an expanding universe that may exist within the pages of a book, in a comic strip, TV or video, on the airwaves, across social media platforms, in toys, and even in real life. The big difference with story worlds in transmedia terms, and to an extent cross-platform and digital media, is that on one or more of the platforms, the audience can engage with the story world and ultimately have an impact on it. Other stories, in turn, can overlap with each other, impacting one another, making everyone's stories richer, more interactive, and giving the audience, or more aptly, the community, a richer experience with many different rabbit holes to dive down if they so desire. Each audience member's own story world, as a result, overlaps with that of the story world, having an impact on it, and in return, the story having an impact on their story world. So yes, that's right. If you yourself are telling stories across platforms of media, likely without even knowing it, you too have created a story world. Take, for example, Emmy Rogers. Emmy Rogers is a bit of a Bridget Jones's Diary style character, whose stories started in the pages of a diary. But Emmy didn't like the constraints of a book. So out she strutted onto the web, starting her own blog and social media feeds, and ultimately expanding her story world. She became friends with other characters, overlapping into the worlds of Lord Likely, Suki Bon-Tomps, and other True Blood fan fiction writers. But, as Emmy does, she became restless again, and strutted into real life, onto the scene of Vancouver's tech community, as a critic for the opera and other theatrical events in town. Heaven forbid should Emmy be satisfied with just Vancouver, though. So she took to the road, romancing the globe, and here is where my story begins to overlap with Emmy's, as I too tell tales of romancing culture. This begs the question, when will our story worlds overlap? Comment below with a little bit about your story world and direct me to just where that rabbit hole is so I can dive down it.